Hello, children of Class 8. Hope all of you are doing good and staying safe and staying indoors. Today, I will be reading the poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree. It is the second unit from the New Gems textbook. It is a very short poem of 12 lines and it is all about peace and harmony. I will read the entire poem for you once and then explain to you stanza by stanza. This poem is written by W.B. Yeats. He was an Irish poet and playwright. The troubled times of Ireland haunted his poetry. He experimented in different styles of writing poetry. Some of his works are verse dramas, such as The Island of Statues and Mosaic, and poems like The Wanderings of Ossian and others, and The Wind Among the Reeds. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. So, this is the poem. Please pay attention as I read the poem. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. Their midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. By William Butler Yeats. Yes, children, so as I have read the poem for you, the first 4 lines are self-explanatory. The first line of the poem, I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. The second line, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. First line, you can see the last word, it is the name, where the Lake Isle. Yes, island is a place surrounded by 3 areas. The 3 directions, all the 4 directions will be surrounded by water. Isle is it's smaller than an island. Yes, the Lake Isle of Innisfree. And a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. Wattles, Wattles, that is sticks woven together to make fences. And the Lake Isle of Innisfree is an uninhabited island near the coast of Ireland. Okay. And glade means an open area in a forest. An open area in a forest. The reason William Butler has written this poem is, first of all, he wants peace. Yes, he wants peace. The speaker here, that means the poet in the poem, W.B. Yeats, William Butler Yeats, he wants to go and live on this island of Innisfree. He expresses an intention to get up and go to a small island in Ireland called Innisfree. On the island, he wishes to build a modest cabin out of clay and bundled twigs. The speaker, that means the poet, hopes to plant 9 rows of beans in a clearing, which will buzz with the sound of honey bees tending to a nearby hive. Right? So I will explain to you two, three words here. Clay means he wants to build a cabin of clay, right? What is a small cabin? A small cabin is a place where we live. It can be four walls, it can be a big room or something, but a cabin means a small, here he means a small closet kind of a thing. And what else, as we already know, sticks woven together to make fences. What are fences? See, nowadays we have fences from made of iron and some other material which is hard, or of steel, or nowadays you have all kinds of construction material. But he says that he wants to construct from sticks woven together, right? So he wants to start from the scratch. That means he wants to go back to nature. He wants to live there. And 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee. That means he also wants to plant 9 rows of beans in a clearing which will buzz with the sound of the honeybees tending to a nearby hive. See, can you see so many elements of nature are being portrayed by Yeats in this one line itself? See, he talks about 9 rows of beans, and he also talks about the sound of the honeybees. Have you ever heard the sound of a honeybee? It always goes buzz. Yes, the sound of honeybees is buzz. He wants to have that kind of a sound around him. That means he wants to build nine rows of beans in a clearing which will buzz with the sound of honeybees tending to a nearby hive, and live alone in the beloved glade. See, what is a glade? It's an open area in a forest, and live alone in the beloved glade. So, as I already mentioned, W.B. Yeats has visited this place when he was a young child, when he was a young boy, and he is very much stressing the point that live alone in the beloved glade. Glade is a small clearing area in a forest, and in the beloved, he is stressing also on the sound of the bees, the sound of the bees. See, when William Butler Yeats wrote the Lake Isle of Innisfree, it is the poem gets its title from a very small uninhabited island that sits in Low Hill, a lake in Yeats's home country of Sligo, Ireland. That means it was his home country, and he had visited this place when he was a young boy. See, it is a lake in Yeats's home country of Sligo, Ireland. And the speaker also longs to build a simple life on Innisfree, finding peace through communion with nature. However, it becomes clear that ties to city life prevent the speaker from realizing this dream. And as we go further, we will come there. So, he wants to his intention is to get up and go to Innisfree, explaining that all day and all night the speaker imagines hearing the lake's waves, and he also wants to hear the buzzing of the bees. Okay, so let us go into the second para. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. Their midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. So now what does this para tell us? This para is also on the lines of the first one. But first here what he says is, and I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. Now, two things. What is a cricket? A cricket is a small brown insect that produces a rhythmical chirping sound. And all a glimmer means shining softly. and evening full of the linnet's wings. Full of the linnet's wings means full of flying linnets. Linnets are songbirds. Linnets are a kind of a songbirds. So this stanza also, he clearly is into nature. He wants all the sounds of the nature to be heard, and he wants to become one with nature. See, the second quatrain provides the reader with the reasoning behind his desire to travel to Innisfree to find some peace. The stanza also contains the important metaphorical relationship that Yeats sets up between the notion of peace and nature. He describes peace as dropping slow. Yes, in the first line, the last two words, dropping slow, from the veils of morning to the where, I'm sorry, from the veils of morning to where the cricket sings. Crickets are small brown insects that produce a rhythmical chirping sound. Yes, he describes from the veils of morning to where the cricket sings. He describes all these sounds as magical, yet relates peace to morning dew. In the glade, he will be surrounded by it, from the leaves on the trees to the grass on the ground where the cricket sings. Now, the third line, there midnight's all a glimmer and noon a purple glow. That means what he says here, continuing here, the poet describes 3 more times of day and the magical qualities they possess on the Lake Isle of Innisfree. See here, Yeats, W.B. Yeats is painting the picture in a very, very, very clear and a way we can relate to, because he wants to be one with nature, he wants to attach himself, and he wants to detach himself from the world and attach with the crickets, with the birds, with the songs of the birds, and with the sounds. See, even in the first stanza, he was referring to the buzzing sound of the honeybees. Yes, why does he want to plant the beans? Why does he want to plant the beans? Because he wants the beans to attract the honeybees. He wants the bean plants to attract the honeybees. In the same way, even the same pattern is found in the second stanza also. The first, he introduces the cricket, which is an insect. It makes a kind of a rhythmic sound. Yes, and also full of linnet's wings. That means, even see, if you imagine the imagery being shown by W.B. Yeats, he says full of the linnet's wings. That means full of flying linnets. Even the bird is singing, and also it is making sound with its wings. If you have any time observed, the flapping of birds also makes a different sound, and that is also rhythmical. It is a different sound when it rises up. It is a different sound when it settles down. So W.B. Yeats is basically, he wants to be surrounded by nature. He wants to be one with nature. See, that is what again and again he says, that the imagery calls up sequences that further emphasize the importance of the daydream of the speaker to midnight glimmers, noontime glows purple, and the evening is full of the beating of linnet's wings, a small brown bird and with a reddish brown breast. Okay, so this is a linnet. So this is the description of the second para. The imagery and everything comes out very alive when W.B. Yeats is speaking. So as of today, we have completed the first 8 lines of the poem. And please go and pause the video whenever you want, and you can have a detailed you can go through the poem in a detailed way, and you can comprehend for yourself, and you can understand the imagery and the images and all what is painted by W.B. Yeats with our imagination. So basically the first 8 lines of the poem, W.B. Yeats wants to go to the Lake Isle of Innisfree, which he had which he had already been as a young boy, and he is talking about nature. He wants to escape from this world and go and become one with nature, where he wants the cabin made of clay and wattle, and he wants to plant 9 bean rows to attract the honeybees and listen to them in the glade. He wants to live alone in the glade, and he wants to listen to the buzzing of the honeybees. And he also says that I want peace. He wants peace. And he wants peace so badly that even at the morning time, even in the midnight, and also at the noon, yes, and also in the evening. Morning is written, midnight is written, noon is written, and also evening. All the times of the day has been mentioned here by WBH, and each of them specify a different tone. For example, the morning, he wants the sound of the cricket to be heard. Cricket means an insect here. And midnight's all a glimmer. That means the midnight is always soft for him. It is shining softly. And noon is a purple glow. The noon, the afternoons, it is always a purple glow. The Lake Isle of Innisfree is always purple. It has a purple glow in the afternoons. And in the evening, it is full of the linnet swings. As described earlier, not only the sound or the singing of the bird linnets, that means the birds' linnets, which are very much plenty in availability there, but also the wings, the sound of the wings of the linnet. Yes, these are the first 8 lines. Please pause wherever needed and go through the poem once again, and I will continue the last 4 lines of the poem in the next video. Please complete the assignment which is being sent to you tomorrow, and till that time all of you can pen about nature and how are you spending the time in this lockdown. How are you utilizing the best ways? Are you utilizing your time in the best possible way? Are you studying? Are you going through the online lessons of the various subjects being sent to you? You can just pen down 8 lines of poem in however manner you want to, and you can be a poet yourself. So till then, children, enjoy your day and God bless you all.